Ms. Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the Fourth Amendment, our founding fathers endowed with us the right, quote, the right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. The Fourth Amendment guarantees us that these areas shall not be unreasonably intruded upon with most searches founded upon a warrant. And over the last few weeks, we've been hearing, whether from the private sector, the public, that we've heard about facial recognition technology being used in airports, protests, being purchased off of social media, et cetera. Ms. Del Greco, you're with the FBI. Does the FBI ever obtain warrants before deploying the use of facial recognition technology?
The criminal mugshots are searched by our law enforcement partners, and all photos are collected pursuant to an arrest with a criminal 10-print fingerprint.
And in use of facial recognition, it's beyond just the search of the criminal database, but scanning a person's face, I would say, is akin to searching their face in order to match it to a database. Does the FBI ever obtain a warrant to search someone's face using facial recognition?
We do not do real-time searching.
Okay. Do you require your external partners to obtain a warrant?
I mean, they must do so with a criminal law enforcement interest.
Does the FBI use any information from any other agency with respect to facial recognition?
We share our records with other federal agencies with regard to law enforcement purposes.
In our May 22nd hearing, Chairman Cummings stated that he was present at the 2015 Baltimore protests following the death of Freddie Gray. At those protests, the Baltimore County Police Department allegedly used facial recognition technology to identify and arrest certain citizens present at the protest, exercising their First Amendment rights. Ms. Del Greco, has the FBI ever used facial recognition deployed at or near a protest, political rally, school, hospital, courthouse, or any other sensitive location?
No, we have not.
And do you think that the generalized facial surveillance should be permissible? Do you think that that undermines the First Amendment?
I do think that protecting the American people is extremely important to us. The FBI absolutely wants the best, most fair system. We want to make sure that we're following the guidelines, process, protocols, and standards that we put in place for law enforcement.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gould, you're with the TSA. The TSA has outlined proposals to collaborate with private companies, including Delta and JetBlue, to develop and implement their facial recognition search systems. Is this correct?
Ma'am, we've issued a security program amendment to Delta to allow them to use biometric identification at their bag drop. In terms of partnering with them to develop the back-end matching system, that is something that we're solely engaged with CBP on.
And the bag drop, those are the computers that folks check in and get their boarding pass from?
That would be I would use the term kiosk for that.
The kiosk.
Delta uses that technology at their kiosk. TSA has no equity there. That's solely to verify that passenger has a reservation with Delta. Where we have equity is at our checkpoint and also at the bag drop, where we're required to ensure that the passenger is matched to their bag.
Do individuals know that that is happening, and do they provide explicit consent? Is it opt-in?
Passengers have the opportunity to not participate.
So it's opt-out, but not opt-in?
It is, yes, ma'am.
So it's possible that JetBlue and Delta are working with the TSA to capture photos of passengers' faces without their explicit opt-in consent?
Ma'am, I was down in Atlanta last week and watched the Delta check-in process, the bag drop process, and it was very clear while I was down there that passengers were afforded the opportunity, if you'd like to use facial capture for identification, please stand in front of the camera and we'll do so. There was no automatic capture of passengers or anything like that.
And this capture is not saved in any way, but is correct, right?
No, ma'am, the camera captures the image is encrypted, it is sent to the TVS matching system, which is what CBP uses solely for the purpose of match, and then that match result is sent back to the operator.
Is that captured image destroyed?
It's not retained at all, no ma'am.
So it's sent, but it's not retained?
It's not retained on the camera, no ma'am.
Okay. Could these companies potentially be using any part of this process to either capture the algorithm or data?
No, ma'am, I don't see that happening currently with the pilots that we're doing right now.
Okay, thank you very much. I yield back to the chair.
Thank you very much.